Hello and welcome to the STB Racing League Season 16 finale. We are here at Brazil tonight at Interlagos and we are very excited for this one. And I'm joined alongside STB Maudi in the commentary box tonight. Ridzi, for the first time this season, is not available. But how are you tonight, Maudi?
I'm very looking forward to this Brazilian Grand Prix. I think it's going to be a great race and I'm really looking forward to be back in my natural habitat. Obviously, Mercury, I'm not the best of drivers, but I always love bringing coverage of STB because there's always incredible battles. We've had a few issues with the stream, Mercury, but you were talking about who I think is going to be before who's going to be winning in the battle between Urban Unicorn and Jam Ham. And I think personally, as I said, I think Hamjam's definitely going to win that. He's had some great consistency. Urban Unicorn has actually retired Mercury from the session, so that gives Hamjam a much better chance of getting that. And I think Hamjam's just really looking forward to racing. I think his I'm not saying he didn't have much motivation before Mercury, but I can just see him a lot happier than he was at the start of the season.
Well, he's definitely upped his game, pretty much from, I would say, Monza onwards. He's definitely got the stronger tracks towards the end of the season, and he's been a consistent podium scorer at the end of this championship. So he's definitely mounted himself towards one of the top drivers, and Urban Unicorn retiring so early is going to give him that extra advantage that he needs to gain those points in the championship. So he is currently 1 point clear of Urban Unicorn in second place. So it is all to play for between the two of them.
Yes. One driver that I just want to talk about, Sink Buckley. He's had a great start to here in Brazil. He's done a pretty decent lap there, 108.5. He was looking very quick in practice, I believe. So he had great pace in Abu Dhabi. He had great pace. I believe he was battling with Bruno Will, wasn't he, for the victory?
Yeah, he was on for the victory for a lot of that Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, but Bruno Will's pace was just a little bit too good for him in the end, but it was a very strong drive, and I think Brazil's a track that he really enjoys. So we'll have to see what he can do in this session, but Bruno Will is currently top of the timesheet. He's the only driver into the 107s. As we see Hamjam coming into the line, he can only manage a 108.1, but I do expect the times to tumble towards the end of this session. We will talk about the track.
Sorry.
Carry on, sorry.
Bruno Will, I just want to point out he's the only Brazilian driver here tonight, so he's going to be gunning it for the Brazilians here in Interlagos.
Yeah, so we will mention about the track sort of features. Obviously, it is quite a high downforce track, but you've got the long straights, so you don't want to compromise yourself too much with the straight line speed, and a lot of them are slow winding corners, so you can get away with running a little bit less downforce. So it will be a big compromise, not to mention obviously this track is infamous for wet weather, so it will be very interesting to see on race day whether the heavens will open and we'll have another wet race.
Obviously, Mercury, in real life we had the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix. That was an incredible, one of the best races in my opinion of the 2010s, and we had, changeable conditions. It was raining, red flag in that race. So I think Brazil is definitely a track that can offer some great racing, and it's also offered 2 championship victories in STB before. One for Fusion, and then one for, I believe, Bullseye on.
Well, there was also one.
17.
Yeah, there was also one for.
Eke.
F1 Gravity? No, it was Eke, sorry. Season 12.
So 3 then.
Which was all the way down to the wire as well.
So
obviously no championship on the line tonight.
Yeah.
But,
no championship tonight, Mercury, but obviously, as you said previously, there's still places to get in the championship. Something I'm quite interested by is Jules currently in P3, Mercury. What's your take on that?
Well, he's definitely struggled this season. Sink Buckley goes P9. He's definitely struggled, I think, for mainly race pace and consistency. He's had an up and down season, but obviously P3, at the moment. He set a very good lap, so I think if this is his one of his last chances to prove what he can do, then he's going to go full out and prove to people what he can do.
Yeah, maybe get that seat for season 17.
Oh, we've got a driver off, and it's Smasher, and he's disqualified again for the second session in a row. Same in Abu Dhabi for the pit lane.
Wow.
He's at the penultimate turn, so he is out of this session already. It's not been a very good start to his STB career.
Dominic goes P1 there,
race, but P2.
Yeah, P2 for Dominic.
And
Jamham. Hamjam's brother there goes P1.
That's a very good lap from him with a 7.7. So yeah, he's proven that he's got the pace. He has been very good in the last few races. Possibly overshadowed a little bit because he had a few drivers in front of him each time and he's not stood on the podium for a while. But he is another driver who has a lot of potential when he can extract it.
Something else I want to just talk about Mercury as well. I'm surprised we haven't spoken about this before. Bullseye is back in there tonight.
Yes.
He's replacing me in the Mercedes. Yeah. What a driver.
Well, of course, he's our last STB champion before Dominic. Obviously, Dominic's now a 2-time champion on the bounce. Before that, it was Bullseye who won the season 14 championship. So yeah, he's obviously got a lot of talent. He's been out for a while, so we'll have to see whereabouts he slots in. Obviously, the gaps in Brazil very, very tight, so he's down in 13th at the moment, but I do think that he can improve towards the end of the session.
Definitely, and then yeah, I believe he is joining the league for next season, so it should be a good addition to the league. Hamjam, sorry. You know, I still get confused maybe with the names. Hamjam 2002 in his Mercedes. He's coming down the pit straight now. Setting his lap. What lap is going to be? 7.9.
So he's put himself into the top 5. Probably only one more run for the Mercedes to try and get himself in a good qualifying position. Definitely lost some time through the final corner there. As we will go on board with Gravity as he starts his lap. Down in P15 at the moment, he has not set a representative time.
What have you made of Gravity's season so far, Mark?
Well,
yeah, his season.
It's been an up and down one. Again, it's been very similar to Jewel, I'd say. He's always been there or thereabouts. Maybe missing a little bit of quality pace throughout the season, but obviously standing on the podium in Britain. Last time out in Abu Dhabi, got a very good result as well in P5. So again, I think he's one that has very big potential when he can hook it up. We'll have to see if he can do that tonight.
We're going to finish the second sector split. Going to have a bit of distant slipstream from the car ahead of him, so that might help him, but not too much because the car ahead of him's quite far away. And he goes into the pit lane. They're going to put a fresh set of soft tyres on himself.
Libero coming up to the line. Let's see what he can do. Is he up on his time? He did improve slightly, but it doesn't move him up the grid order at all, as we see Fusion coming across the line now. And he pushes himself just behind his teammate into P7. So that is the bank lap that he needed in this session. He will have time for one more run.
Mercury, it's been a very good showing for Alfa Romeo this season. Their first 2 seasons in STB on this game, of course. Alfa Romeo's, they've done a pretty good job this season, Libero and Fusion.
Yeah, they've got a handful of podiums between the two of them. Obviously, Libero is a new driver for this game. Joined the end of last season. So this is his first full season in the league. But he's definitely proved what pace he's got. And obviously, we know that Toxic Fusion, a 4-time STB champion, has struggled a little bit this season. But, you know, he's always in the top 10, regardless of what his pace is like. So
yeah.
Obviously Buckley backing off his lap. I think, yeah, he's coming in for a fresh set of tyres. I think that might be the only people on the lap. No, Dominic is coming through the final corner. And he's getting a tow from Toxic Fusion here. All the way up to the line. So he's going to gain a lot of time down this straight. The Fusion dives into the pits. We see he comes across the line. What can he do? Can he put himself onto provisional pole position?
No.
Not quite. 5 thousandths away from Jamham, who is sitting on provisional pole with a slipstream. So Jamham with a very good banker lap. I'm not sure if Dominic's going to have time to go around and do another lap, Maudi.
Danny, Mercury, Danny, P10 at the moment, 108.1. That's a decent lap time compared to what we can see Danny usually do. I know Brazil's a short circuit, but Danny, he's quick, but he's not up there with the top guys. So it's good to see him only 4 tenths off the Jamham, even if the track is one of the shortest on the calendar. But yeah, going through Code de Lago and going to activate that DRS.
Well, I'm currently watching B-Roll Bruno Will, Maudi. He is just coming into the middle sector. He was slightly up in the first, so we'll have to see his second split time, see if he is up enough to put himself on provisional pole. We have had a few timing glitches the last few sessions, so we will keep an eye on the timer, but I don't fully trust it at this point. So we will see. But if the timer is right, he's not going to get another run. So this will be his final run as he exits the penultimate corner now. It looks to get a very good exit on the traction as he goes up through the gears, keeps it tight on the left-hand side, all the way to the pit wall. Can he improve and put himself on provisional pole position? He can. He is a 10th up on Jamham. So Bruno Will goes provisional pole position as we will watch
the Brazilian fans.
No, Danny's into the pits.
Absolutely wild in the grandstands. I can imagine if that was real life, Brazilians would be going.
Oh, they're going to be very, very happy with that. But can their man keep that position? As we see, obviously, all the drivers are still to do their final runs. I don't think that he will get another run.
Don't
the only driver out on
Joel.
track, sorry, Buckley.
I think
Buckley's just
got
started his
some
lap.
potential in Brazil. Watch out for Joel. He's starting his lap now.
Well, yeah, he's only 2 tenths shy of provisional pole as we watch on board with Sync Buckley as the Williams of, I believe, F1 Gravity is getting out the way there. So yeah, we'll see if Buckley can get himself up the order. P12 is not where he's going to want to start in this race.
Fifth gear around there for the extra speed. Very important Mercury around the circuit for gears. It was round USA. I think it's also very important, you know, what gear you're going to use here in Brazil as well to get the most time out of your car.
And he's backed off, Maddie. He's backed off, so the lap was not good enough for him to start as he gets out the way of the Williams. So we'll see who's started a lap. You said Jewel was on a lap, so we'll see. He is half a tenth up. We'll see him through the second sector line, whether he has improved in the middle sector. He comes across it now. He's a tenth and a half up, Maudi. So if he can get a good exit out this corner, he is challenging his teammate for provisional pole position, or at least a front row start. So we'll see as he comes down the line. He's got no slipstream from anybody else, but he keeps it tight on the inside. Over the line. Where's he going to be?
Very tight. P2.
Just a bit shy. Very good lap from him though, into P2. And the time is up, but no checker flag, so the session is still going. I'm watching Jamham yet.
Our teammate Mercury coming to the line. P2.
He's P2.
Wow, look how close that is.
So he dethrones Jewel.
First to 4, separated by just 0.103 seconds. So there you go. Fusion then on his lap. He's going to get the 107s.
Well, we'll watch as, I believe...
No, he's probably backed off as well.
KF Livero coming up to the line. No, that is, sorry, Fusion. KF Livero's just started a lap, so I think the next person to cross the line will be Jamham in the Haas. So, can he get himself anywhere near a front row start here? He is a 10th up, Maudi, which will put him right on the cusp of provisional pole position. He's going to look to keep it tight, as we've said, as the previous drivers. Puts it into overtake, keeps the DRS open, keeps it tight, as we said, all the way to the pit wall. Can he get himself on provisional pole position? Comes across the line, and he goes down on his best lap. So he's made a mistake there somewhere, as we see Dominic now through the final corner. He's only slightly up, Maudi, but will put him P4 if he can get a good exit all the way to the line. Behind him is KF Libero, so we'll have to keep an eye on him, see if he can put himself in a good position. Check flag is now out, as Eke is in the wall there. And I think that put Dominic off, and he is down on his time. We see Libero coming across the line, and he jumps to P4. just shy of P3 by 6 thousandths, but he puts himself into P4. And Fusion is the only person now to come across the line. He's run out of VRS. And he's backed off, so that should be it, unless Churka's on a lap. He is, comes across the line, doesn't improve. So that is your grid for the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it is a Brazilian on pole position.
Wow. There you have it, Mercury. What a very special end to the session. Bruno will take pole position there. And the Brazilian fans go absolutely wild for the Renault. But let's give it up for Joel. He had a great qualifying there in P3. Second is Hamjam 2002. Fourth is Libero. Fifth, Jamham. Sixth, Dominic. Seventh is Danny. Good qualifying for me. He's going to hope to have a good start. Great. Eighth is Buckley. Ninth, Fusion. 10th, Eke. 11th is Urban Unicorn. 12th, Churka. 13th, F1 Gravity. 14th, on his return, Bullseye. 15th, Matty, struggling here in Brazil. 16th, Miles. 17th, Carl. And 18th is Samasha, disqualified from the session. Great lap there from Bruno Will. I think the driver we really need to look out for is Joel.
Well, I will mention, Maudi, Eke and Urban Unicorn setting the exact same lap times to the milliseconds. So that was very interesting to see, but it won't do Urban Unicorn any good in his hope for the P4 in the championship, as his rival is starting on the front row.
So then, you said in qualifying, Mercury, that the rain is a big factor of the Brazilian Grand Prix, but it looks like at the moment those skies are looking pretty hot. Pretty hot indeed. So, yeah. I don't think we're going to see any rain,
yes,
Mercury.
It definitely does look like a very nice day for a Grand Prix, but as I said, it is on Interlagos, and those clouds do roll in astonishingly fast, so we don't know if there's any rain forecast in this session, but for now it looks like a dry race.
So I'm just waiting for the drivers to put their setups on, sort their strategies out, sort the fuel out. It's very important to get the right fuel in your car, the right setup, the right tyres, because if you mess up on the strategy, I mean, it's Brazil, but anything can happen, it's got to be perfect for the start in order to get the best start, the best first lap, Mercury, because these drivers, although it's a final race, they want to get the win, as they always do. So,
with us being in the season finale, Maudi, obviously it's been a very successful season from us here at STB. Obviously the championship battle didn't go to the wire, as maybe us fans would have wanted. But we've had 5 different race winners this season. So the top 4, and KF Libero, the only other person to win a race this season.
yes, of course, we also celebrated the 6-year anniversary as well, Mercury, back in Monza. What an incredible race that was. Not a good race for you, but I'm sure that you've learned from that. You've learned from that opportunity, and you're now able to bounce back in Melbourne in, I believe, back end of July, early August, when the date is confirmed for that race. But yeah, been a great season, Mercury. Like to extend my thanks to all the admin staff for making it possible, because this game, there weren't going to be a season back in October, so it's good to see that you and the rest of the admin staff was able to take that on your wing. And yeah, it's been a very enjoyable season. Bruno Will's getting a bit out of shape there on the final corner and heat up those tyres, but yeah, Mercury, it's been a great season. What's been your favourite race of the season?
What, from personal perspective or as a fan sort of perspective?
Wow, just racing, Joe.
For me, probably Spain, as that was my first podium in a long, long time. So it was nice to get back tasting the champagne. From a spectator's view, I think possibly it would probably be Belgium or USA. But yeah, it's been a great season as the drivers now.
If I remember rightly,
France was a good one as well. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Paul Ricard. Right then,
well, the drivers now
line up here in Brazil. Mercury ready for the Brazilian Grand Prix. BMG Smasher there in his racing point. And here we go, it's 2 lights, it's 3 lights, Mercury, it's 4 lights, it's 5 lights for the Autodromo José Carlos Pache here in Brazil. Lights out, And away they... There's a delay. Lights down, away they
Yeah,
go.
bit of a delay, but here they go.
Great start here in Brazil. No, he's not. He's behind Bruno Will. They're just on the inside
it's 3
of the
wide.
corner, and it's 3 wide. And it's so wide. It's been a bad bit of a collision there down the back of the field. Churka's going to get a P13 now. It's calamity down the back of the field. Danny's getting boxed in, and the McLaren's off second. The McLaren's bad. Eke's out.
Oh, it's a massive crash.
Massive crash. Massive crash.
And we've got a virtual safety car.
Dominique. Gravity's out of the race. Eke has gone.
Oh, there's cars everywhere.
Second season in a row, Eke's been taken out of the race on lap
And
one.
Gravity as well.
The race, Gravity's out. We'll see you in Melbourne. Oh,
Wow, that is not the start that they would have been wanting at the start of this session. Gravity and Eke already out of the session for the second year running before turn 4. So we didn't quite catch what happened there. It seemed like somebody got out of shape on the inside and tried to counter steer.
That started with Danny, because Danny got out of shape at turn 1.
And Smash has not got a front wing, so he's been caught up in it. Miles managed to avoid most of the incident, but Jewel has had a fantastic start.
Oh, look at this. Jewel, here we go.
And we are green flag. We are racing again, and Jules got the run on Bruno Will. He's going to be in the slipstream, but he dives into the pits, Maddie.
Oh.
He may have front wing damage, but Bruno Will leads from Ham Jam. I'm not sure. We'll have to keep an eye on him, see if he is changing the front wing. Matty's into the pits. They do have a front wing for him. So he was caught up in that corner somehow.
That was a massive sort of contact there down into... But Danny's in, Smash is in.
Yeah,
Kirk is in.
5 drivers into the pits and 2 drivers already out. So massive crash at the back of that field.
Big crash,
We'll
massive
have
crash.
to get an insight as to what happened at the end of the race. Obviously, we don't have any replay cameras, but it's probably worked out the best for Bruno Will and Ham Jam. They are now P1 and P2 in this race. Unlucky for Jewel to get caught up in whatever incident he did, as he had a fantastic start off the line.
Yeah, he did. He was definitely going to be catching up. Bruno Will there. I believe he would have had the line through over the Largo and then down Westfield Posture. But there you go, basically. Mercury, big crash, massive crash down at the turn 2, and we see Eke in Melbourne once again.
Obviously Dominic on the back of Libero. Is he going to go for a move down the inside here? He's a purple final sector, but he thinks better of going for the move. He's going to bide his time here. He is looking very quick in the opening stages already of this race.
6 then is Buckley. It's already lap 3. That's gone quick. DRS for Buckley there as they close down the straight.
And we've got Bullseye in the pits as well now.
So yeah, Bullseye's not had a good start either. Jules in P11 now on a set of hards. That could help him, because I don't know.
Well, if he can make the structure work.
It seemed in practice.
The hards are very difficult to make work on this track, though, is the only issue. They can go a long time, but the pace does significantly drop.
I know the undercut is not effective as much as it was, say, in Abu Dhabi, but it is, practice. A lot of drivers are gaining time from hitting early, so I think if Joel can get that sorted, he can still in a good position, but he's also, as you say, he's going to have slower tyres, hards and wheels, so got to be careful of that. Libero then P4, fast lap for BRR Bruno Will.
Interesting to see Ham Jam is still keeping up with him. Obviously slipstream a big thing in this game. As long as you can relatively match your rival's pace, you will keep up with him in that DRS. But he is within half a second, so he's looking reasonably fast.
Very, very mad, Mercury. I think if I took part in this race, I'd be in points right now.
Well, I mean, you could have stayed out of trouble.
But
Unicorn going past Toxic Fusion for P7 in this race.
Looks like Fusion's
he's on a set of mediums.
Looks like Fusion's not got a lot of grip. I think has he got a broken foot wing?
We'll have to have a look. He has. He's lost
a
big chunk of his right hand front wing. So he must have been involved in that start crash as well. Interesting to see he's not pitted yet. He may be trying to go for mediums. Stretch the
that is some proper deja vu. That is.
Well, yeah, it was very similar to season 13,
last season.
I believe.
Last season.
Well, there was a crash down at turn 4
Yeah, crash
last
turn
season.
3 actually.
There was
Yeah,
one at turn 3
Yeah.
season 13, I believe. So, reminiscent of that incident, we see Fusion coming into the pits for a front wing change.
I will see what
And
tyres
Dominic
go on.
now, he's all over the back of KF Libero. He's going to be looking for the move into turn 4. He's deep in the slipstream, KF Libero. Libero goes defensive. Can Dominic hold it all the way around the outside of turn 4 as Eke's left the session? He's had enough. And Libero holds the position, but Dominic gets the switch back and he is now past KF Libero.
Hard compound tyres there for Fusion in the pit lane.
Dominic carving his way through the field. He's got to try and keep in the slipstream of Jamham. He's just about within DRS range, so he should be alright, but he's making inroads onto the podium. Now putting pressure on the Ham and Jam brothers.
So then, Ham Jam needs an incredible exit out of Jean-Sal onto the pit straight. Here we go. He's not going to be close enough, but if he keeps in that DRS, it's going to help him later on in the Grand Prix. We go DRS then now for the Mercedes. Not close enough, but if he keeps in that DRS Mercury, it's going to work. Sector 3 yellow flag.
Dominic with the fastest lap. Yeah, that is Miles. Miles has spun off at Junshao, so he has not had a good start to this race. He is not pitting, so he's staying out. You never know what he can do.
He didn't have a very good qualifying.
No, he struggled, but you know, safety cars.
And he's
already had a virtual safety car.
He's lost it on the curb there. He lost it on the curb, and he's out of the Brazilian Grand Prix. Virtual safety car is deployed here in Brazil. And there you go. Another crash in Brazil.
Another retiree in this session. We've 6 laps in and 3 guys down already. 3 drivers already out of this session.
Yeah, he lost it on the curb there, Mercury, and just went flying off the circuit into the barriers. Not a good end to Miles' season.
Right then. Interesting to see, Modi. If the VSC ends now, we go green. Can Jamham get the run on Bruno Will? It looks like we're not going green yet, so he's not going to get a chance to go down this straight. Yeah, Bruno Will is spending a lot of time on this VSC. Hamjam closing up a bit now.
Maybe Hamjam's trying to keep within that Delta time.
Well, he may be trying to keep a bit of Delta time so we can gun it as soon as he goes green flag and get the run on Bruno Will. He's right on the back of him now. As we see, we go green now. Wasn't best timing from Hamjam, but stayed close enough to be able to fight. As we see, Buckley is right on the back of Libero. Libero's struggling for pace a little bit. Buckley's going to be looking to try and challenge for that podium in this race.
Definitely would be absolutely amazing to end off this season. A game that he hasn't really enjoyed, Mercury, but he has definitely been...
Oh, Smasher with a move up the inside of Aromatic down here at turn 1.
Sorry there.
From the racing point.
But Mate's trying to come back at
coming back in.
Point, but no, that won't work.
They make contact. But Smasher with the good move down the inside. A bit of rubbing between the 2 drivers, but... Yeah, Smasher needs to carve his way through the traffic now. He's got a lot of drivers on harder compounds ahead of him. And obviously Chirka as well on the soft tyres. So he can still salvage something from this race.
What was I saying? I can't remember what I was talking about. It couldn't have been that important. Bruno will then ping pong here in Brazil. Second is Hamjam, third is Jamham. I'm about to say Hamjam there. 4th is Dominic. 5th is Libero, getting a bit out of shape out of turn 1. Merck is going to be on the back of him. DRS enabled for the Toro Rosso. Another thing Mercury that we've got to say, we will be saying goodbye to the Toro Rosso name and welcoming AlphaTauri next season. That'll be very exciting stuff.
Yeah, they've had a reasonably long history in the sport, 14 years I believe, just over 14 years. Obviously they are still the same team, just rebranding mainly from Red Bull.
Who knows?
In their clothing line.
AlphaTauri may get their first STB Constructors Championship, if I'm not mistaken, next season, with the changing of branding.
We'll have to wait and see.
But there you go.
Hopefully they will have a good season next season out in season 17.
But anyway,
we'll
moving on,
what
Bruno
happens.
Will then. Under pressure still from the Mercedes of Jamham 2002 there. my old teammate, your old teammate Mercury. We definitely know all the ins and outs about his racecraft.
Oh, Bruno has gone deep. Bruno has gone deep into turn 1.
Here we go, right, here we go.
Yep, he's going to give Hamjam the run. Hamjam's going to have DRS and slipstream. Whether he wants to fight or not, it doesn't look like he is. He's not gone into overtake, he's dropped it down. But his brother behind is going to be very, very close in all of this. So a little mistake from the Brazilian driver out front. We don't often see mistakes from him. Usually streaks out in front, but he's got a big train behind him. Dominic just set the fastest lap of the race.
Maybe
so he's looking quick.
Being in your home country.
Well, of course he's going to want to win his home race in front of his home fans. Didn't win it last time out, last season. Struggled in that one. But
I think the tyres are starting to go off for him. Looks like he's... oh, yeah, he's lost that.
Yeah, he's deep.
He's on the curb, right?
So now, Hamdam's going to have a run. Is he going to go for the move, though? Does he want to? He has. He's put it up into hot lap, Maudi. He's going to go down into overtake now for the straight line speed, as Hamjam now looking for the lead of this Grand Prix. Bruno Will is going to hold the inside line, goes defensive. He wants to hold the lead of this Grand Prix. Hamjam ran the outside of turn 1. He's now going to have the inside for turn 2. He has made the move stick, but now can Bruno Will fight back? He is right on the rear wing of Hamjam in the Mercedes. Hamjam doesn't go defensive, and Bruno Will's going to have the inside line for turn 4. And he's going to get the move out the inside. He outbrakes him and he gets the position back. Hamjam not going defensive. Just seemed to let Bruno Will back through. So Bruno Will gets the lead of the race back from the Mercedes.
Sorry, Mercury, I just want to point out, Hamjam won't have to be going up to hot lap or overtake next season. He'll just be able to press that activate button and he'll get all the pace down the straight next season. So I'm sure these drivers will be definitely looking forward to that. Less work for them, I think.
Well, it'll be a bit easier for obviously running race distances when you're changing the ERS 40 times a lap is very tedious. So it will be something that they look forward to. As we see Smasher making a move on Churka into turn 4. So he is making
fastest lap as well.
He's making gains. Sorry, Matty as well has made a move on Fusion. But we're watching out in front to see this train as we see Buckley's the first to pit. Buckley is in the pits, so we will keep an eye on him what cars he goes on. But currently Hamjam's still on the back of Bruno Will. He seems to be struggling for the pace. See Buckley now coming into his pit box. What tires are going to go on? It is going to be a set of mediums. Set of mediums for the Toro Rosso team. So they're doing a one stop in this race.
Final pit stop in Formula 1 is Toro Rosso. One of the final ones.
Well, you never know, you're going to curse him now, he's going to get some front wing damage and have to come to the pits.
Oh god.
Curse of the commentator. But yeah, Bruno Will, I've seen him out the last few braking zones and out the exits. He's really struggling with the rear end. I don't know if he's gunned it too hard, too fast, or possibly burnt out his tyres at the start. But he is struggling with a big train forming behind him now. We'll see if anybody reacts to Buckley's pit stop this lap, because that could be a very good strategy call from the Toro Rosso team. They can get their man up into the lead of the race. Bruno Will does not pit. Hamjam dives into the pits. All top 3 have pitted apart from... Yeah, Libero's in as well. So Bruno Will stays out an extra lap, but these drivers are into the pits, Maudi. They should all be on a set of mediums, but we'll keep an eye on Sync Buckley as he rounds the final corner. Where is he going to be in all of this?
He may have gained him a lot of time, but I think maybe one lap around Brazil is not enough to gain that much of an advantage. But the pit lane is quite slow here in Brazil.
Oh, see, they're just...
he's braking so on now, he's saying so on.
Yeah. It's going to be tight, but I think they're going to keep the position. As you see, Buckley, yep, he's going to be behind these guys. But can he make the jump on KF Libero? Oh, he's right behind Dominic. Dominic's had a slow stop. He's been held in the pit lane, and Buckley's going to go up the inside of the current world champion. And they're going to go toe-to-toe now as Dominic's going to fight back through turn 5. Who's going to have it? It's going to be Buckley on the inside line, but they make a bit of contact as Dominic round the outside. They're still side by side up the top of the hill. And Buckley has to concede the position. So Dominic with a very slow stop under pressure, but he has kept the position from the sister team.
Definitely. Carl P5 then on his medium compound tyres, so he's not had the best races. He hasn't pitted yet, so that's not very good. Urban Unicorn, look at that. P1 fit here, me leads. Better than he was doing in Abu Dhabi. Set of
well, let's keep an eye on keep an eye on Hamjam and Jamham especially. See if they've got a good outlet. It's probably going to be similar circumstances as Bruno Will is at the pit exit now.
Yeah, it's going to be close, it's going to be close.
As we will watch Bruno Will coming out of the pit lane, and he will retain the lead of this race. But Hamjam and Jamham is still there, but he's gonna have a very good run. No, he drops the ERS down. He doesn't want to fight that yet. So Bruno Will keeps the lead of the Grand Prix as we see Buckley making his move past Kyle. In 12 lap out mediums, he's running his own race. But Dominic now 2 seconds behind Jamham, so that's not what he's wanted in those in that pit stop phase. He's now out of the DRS, but he has had the pace, so we'll see if he can catch back up to the Haas.
Little battle going on at the back here. We've got Danny, Bullseye Fusion, and Matty. Check picks up a 3-second time penalty. That could be a little good battle going on at the back there, Mercury.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one as well as this one developing for the lead. We've got Hamjam just behind Bruno Will. Getting a good slipstream down the straight, but not quite enough for him to make a move. As we flip back to Danny now, as he seems to get a run on Bullseye. Bullseye's going to have DRS on Fusion, so it's going to be very similar to the battle out in front. They're all going to struggle to get past each other, but see if Danny goes for a move up the inside. Bit too far back on that occasion.
Close enough.
But yeah, the battle now pulling for P12 as Matty's getting involved in this one. Sync Buckley is still keeping on the back of VRG Dominic, as Dominic is struggling to catch back up to Jamham. He has lost time, so he's really going to have to push to get back in this DRS and slipstream and see if he can get onto the podium in this race, or possibly even win.
Who's that, sorry, Mercury?
VRG Dominic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, P5. I mean, he's quite far behind. 1.9 seconds to gap. Bruno Will responds to Hamjam's pressure. First up of the race, 10.2. Showing. Yeah,
Buckley's just done a 10.9, so these guys behind are a little bit slower than that lead pack without that slipstream to pull them along. Obviously, Urban Unicorn not still yet to pit, but if there's a safety car in this race, it's going to look very, very nice for him.
Be interesting
to take that P4 in the championship.
See, Mercury, how the slipstream does work next season. If they have changed it, who knows?
Well, I'm sure they would have changed it in some way. It may be less powerful, it may be stronger, or it may be dirty air. I think most people are hoping it's going to be a little bit stronger, so it's a bit more of a benefit to overtake. But obviously, with increasing the effects of the dirty air, they've got to also increase slipstream effect, as people are going to struggle to get as close down the straights.
So then, Buckley looks to still be keeping up with Dominic though, so it's not all over for Buckley, but I think Dominic's definitely got the overall pace he's shown out this whole season. Mercury winning the championship this season, so.
Well, he's a very consistent driver. He proved that from the start, especially season 15. Having a few connection issues, which did put a dent in his championship hopes, but he turned it around the last few races of the season and really dominated.
Definitely. Danny then. Oh, and Danny's off the circuit. What's gone on there? He's outbroken himself.
I think he went to make a move from Bullseye. They were very, very close to each other.
Yeah, it's not been a very good race.
But his race has unfolded a bit. He's now lost the back of this train, which was basically the only hopes of any points in this race. But safety cars, as we said, are still possibilities. We see, sorry Maori, Bruno Will is now pushing. Bruno Will is pushing to get away from Hamjam, and he's now out of the DRS. Hamjam's not going to have DRS on this occasion. So is this where we see the Brazilian driver start to take control of this race? He's done so many times this season. As we see, got another car off. It's Smasher. Smasher's had a spin. It's been a dismal race again for him when he's on 14 lap old soft tyres. as I believe he looks to retire. Still going for now. No, he has gone now, and Matty's also disconnected from the session. So it's not been the 2 races that Smasher would have wanted on his
that's interesting.
debut.
Smasher's racing with 3 wheels, look.
3 wheels?
Yeah.
He got a puncture?
No, 3 wheels in the pit lane. He crashed out.
He's still in for me.
Oh.
I don't know what's happened there, but yep, Smasher's race is done and dusted. He will not be getting any points in this race. Kyle still yet to pit, as well as Urban Unicorn, and Jewel might have to pit again. He might be able to make it on the end on those hard tyres though. But Bruno Will is streaking away from Hamjam for the lead of this race now.
Bruno will then P2 at the moment. Obviously, Urban Unicorn still yet to pit. That could, I mean, I could say that it could help him, but I don't think it is going to help him. So, you know, traffic when he comes out of the pit lane. So yeah, I don't think the strategy's really worked for him.
As we see Smasher rejoining the session, so he may be still trying to go for some points as Churka finally pits on his old soft tyres that he put on at the start of the race.
He crashed in the wall on my screen, and now he's driving around with 3 wheels.
On my screen he was alright, so I'm not sure if, well, it must be a bit of a connection issue on one end. But he is still in the session, so we'll see if he can get back in and possibly, yeah, as we see Matty rejoin as well, but his damage is done as well. See Bullseye making a move past Fusion into turn 4. Jamham's looking the closest to making the move on the car ahead, but he's not going to be looking to fight his brother at this point, as they are still pulling away from VRG Dominic and St. Buckley. So we'll have to see how this battle unfolds.
Bruno will really pushing Almo. He's got the gap out by about 3 tenths that lap, 1.9 seconds now.
Yeah, he is in his element now, as we see Jamham's not fighting his brother at this point. Letting this battle brew to the end of the race. See, at the moment, as it stands, Urban Unicorn, Smasher's now out of the session. He is in the walls. We have another virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car is deployed. The third. I'm surprised there's not actually been a proper safety car.
Smasher's off in the same turn, I believe. Oh dear, how's he ended up out there? That is disastrous for Urban Unicorn, as he turned into a very expensive lawnmower, and he's lost a heap of time to Bruno Will behind him. Yeah, I didn't quite catch what happened there. He must have lost the rear end, money as he comes into the pits.
His tyres have gone, and he just went off the circuit. He just completely.
Well, those tyres aren't that old, Marty. They should go a little bit further.
This could help him though, because everyone's going to still be slowed down under virtual, so it just might mean he won't.
Can he take the soft tyres to the end? He's got 17 laps, Maldy, to take those soft tyres. We've seen drivers on 15 lap holds.
Plenty of time.
As we see green flag, and Hamjam has made a lot of time on Bruno Will in the virtual safety car period, and he's pulled away from his brother in P3.
Oh.
As we see,
potential shoot investigation now.
Kev Libero, that is vital in his race. Maldy, he's now going to look to pull up to the back of St. Buckley and VRG Dominic. Yeah, Hamjam has now dropped the Haas behind him. The top 3 are separated by 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, but I think Bruno Will is still going to have that pace when they get back up to speed properly. I think like next lap, and then he's going to. Yeah, he's already getting like 2 tenths in that sector alone. So yeah, sector 1 yellow flag. Then
I believe that's Churka.
Churka's gone. That's it. There you go. Out of the race.
Back going again.
Attention there.
It wasn't a good race for him. He got caught up at the start. Never really recovered. As he's spun, Maldy, and he's in the wall. And he's still going, but he's lost a massive chunk of front wing. he seemed to, I don't know, he turned into early, Maui. He completely turned into a lawnmower, a bit like Urban Unicorn did. And his
Yeah,
race is
I think the
completely
drivers
derailed now.
might be trying to say something. I think they might be trying to say something maybe like the grass is too long or something.
Well, I would hope they keep the circuit in good condition here in Interlagos.
No,
Very
they haven't been
popular
able to
circuit.
because of coronavirus. So no one's been here in Interlagos. So yeah, the
Well,
drivers.
that's what it must be.
Get the tractor
Well,
up.
Churka, obviously, his race was derailed, so he's helping the circuit runners out. We're doing a bit of lawn mowing for them. As you see, Sink Buckley now is the closest to a move. He's been following Dominic for a while.
Urban has caught by second in that lap.
Yeah.
He's gaining.
He is indeed, so it'll be interesting to see where he can get up to. Can he challenge his title or his rival in the championship for P4 and get on the podium as he sets the fastest lap by some distance? So he's got blistering pace on those fresh softs.
What we've got to think about as well, what we've got to think about is his tyres, as you said, they're going to be off. They're going to be... yeah, they're going to be really off.
So with the drivers in front of him, I believe. Obviously, his is going to be a little bit worse. Yeah, he's on his first pit stop, so he can easily go to the end on those soft tyres. Can he get back in points is the big question.
I mean, Urban Unicorn can see Buckley and Dominic.
It's not been the best race of the season, I would say. There's been at least a few incidents. But on-track battles, it's been a bit sparse here in Brazil.
Yeah, not what we expect normally.
Yeah, Brazil usually throws up some very good races.
No, because of the dirt.
Yeah, last season was a very good one.
Yeah, it's definitely something to think about around this circuit.
Well, Buckley's really struggling out of the final corner. Seems to be running really, really narrow rather than going right wide to the curb. So that halts his progress. We see Churka is now out of the session and he has crashed at the final corner. So his race is undone. As we see him on the right hand side there. Will there be a safety car?
He's
Jewel has pit on his old tyres. He's done with those tyres. As we see another virtual safety car in this race.
Where's
not
the
a full safety car. I don't know. We'd love a safety car at this point, but
we actually would.
Stewards have decided a VSC is enough.
Right, so a lot of people in the pit lane. I think they're going to go in for battling at the final
they're going to go on a set of softs. So yeah, this will be a big battle towards the end of the field for those final points paying positions. Fusion opted to stay out in that virtual safety car period, and he's on very, very old, worn, hard tyres. So interesting decision by him, but
I wouldn't mind a safety car, man.
Yeah, it would be good, but I don't think the game wants to throw one at us as we go green again here at Brazil.
Buckley's got the run on Dominic.
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on that. He's going to go for the move up the inside. He's been eyeing it up for 10 odd laps.
His favourite driver in Formula 1, and he does it at the corner that is named after him. What an overtake move there. P number 4 for Sink Buckley. Yeah, is Dominic going to come back?
Dominic's going to fight back.
Buckley's going to break the slipstream.
He's not in the slipstream. He doesn't want to fight him. So Dominic is yielding that position to Buckley. He doesn't yet want to fight him. But Buckley gets the move done, as you said, into the centre S's, just before the centre S's. So he is going to look to push on now, but as we saw, Dominic really struggled to reel in Jamham, so we'll see what he can do, if he can get any more pace. As we see, the battle is now heating up for P9. Jewel has got a run on Kyle. Good exit through the centre S's as he now heads towards turn 4. Easy move for him. Great pace down the straight. Kyle seems to be struggling on his fresh softs. Jewel on a fresh set of mediums gets past. So the main battles to watch out for now is the battle for P4 and the battle for P1, obviously. Still not out of the question. We do have this battle down for P9 as well. We'll see if Bullseye, Danny and Matty can catch up and snatch a point in this race. Who do you have as your favourite to win this one then, Maldi?
Bruno will.
Yeah, I think that's a probably the logical answer. We've seen him dominate races at the front of the field time and time again this season. So
I think next season, Mercury, Bruno will, if he is racing next season, in season 17, I think we could definitely be seeing Bruno will take a challenge to Dominic's crown. And yeah, I think Bruno will has got a good chance of being the first STB Brazilian champion. I think he's shown some great pace at the back end of this season. Obviously, let's not forget Bahrain, Mercury.
well, yeah, there's been a few incidents where he's lost a big chunk of points, which could arguably not be his fault. As we see, Dominic is going to make a move on Buckley. Buckley moves quite late, but Dominic gets the position before the braking zone. Quite a comfortable move for him, but will Buckley fight back into turn 4? I've seen a lot of drivers make moves there. But yeah, Bruno Will has been arguably the best driver, or at least the second best driver in this season. Obviously, P2 in the championship for him. But I believe he will be able to put a big championship mount on for him next season. Obviously, he was leading the championship for a lot at the beginning of this season. I think a lot had him as the favourite, not to be for this season.
Dominic then is in P number 4.
Another yellow flag, and Matty is out of the session.
Matty's out, and it's the 5th virtual
And we've got
safety car
another
of the
virtual
session.
safety car. Oh goodness.
I think this is the race with the most virtual safety cars. This has got more virtual safety cars than Canada had. Canada 2011 had safety cars.
Well, I mean, as we said, we'd really enjoy a full safety car. It would definitely heat up this finale. The game doesn't seem to want to throw one at us. But a big retirement list for this session. We go green already in this session, not even half a lap under VSC.
Those Brazilian stewards are very, very good at tailing cars.
Well, it's that or the FIA favour Brazilian drivers at the home Grand Prix. And obviously they do not want the field to be bunched up behind Bruno Will as he is now dominating this race.
2-second the gap, 1.9 now, but yeah, it's just keeping
Another yellow
so...
flag.
and
Not sure why it's
Kyle made a mistake.
Kyle. Yeah, he's off the track. He seems to have not got damage, but Bullseye is going to fly past him on this straight. Goes to the inside line. So Bullseye is in the points paying position as Kyle is going to fight back here. We'll see if he can make a move out of the centre S's. Can he get a good enough exit? He does put it into overtake, so his intentions are known. He's a little bit too far back on this occasion, unless he goes for a big lunge into turn 4.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Mercury, sorry. Jamham is looking to definitely be reeling in his brother.
Well, he's going to be happy that he's on the podium at the moment. It'd be nice for him to be on it again. Hamjam was on the podium last time out in Abu Dhabi. And actually, he has been on the podium for, if he finishes in this race, it'll be for 6 races in a row, bar USA, which he missed out by 2/10. So it's been a very strong end to the season by him. As you see Jewel on the back of Toxic Fusion, he's going to go for a move up the inside into turn 1. And he gets the move done.
Sweet as you like.
Easy as you like.
Bang on the brakes.
But will Fusion fight back? I don't think he's got the grip on his old hard tyres, but he is going to go for it. He's got a decent run out the centre S. And straight line speed. Is he going to go for a move up the inside? Thinks better of it. He's not going to have the grip to fight Jewel, I don't think, on his fresh medium tyres.
But Danny's got the grip on
see,
Kyle. Here we go. Slipstream for Danny at the back end of the field here. Gonna have to wait another lap.
Battle heating up for the final point, but I will also mention Urban Unicorn is now in DRS of Buckley, or he was. He has been catching a lot. We'll see if he can get himself up into P4 in this battle. As we said about his tyres. And Danny's made his move on Kyle in the middle sector. Flip back to watch Jamham. He's not close enough. We'll watch Buckley.
You said
He's
the clouds.
also not close enough.
You've been looking at the clouds, Mercury. I'm not saying it's going to rain, but they are looking a lot more bunched up than they were at the start of the session.
Another yellow flag and Fusion. Fusion.
Back into Fusion.
Fusion's out of the race. That is at the pit straight. And that is right on the racing line. If there's any point to have a safety car, that is one. And nothing from the stewards yet.
The FIA are acting
It's got to
very
be
mad.
It's not. They've cleared the debris. There's a car on the racing line and we've got no safety car. So it's not to be in this session.
These Brazilian stewards are so quick.
Well, it's not what we wanted as fans, but
Yeah, I think Fusion
he's had a lot of virtual safety.
he's had a very poor race here in Brazil.
Well, we see Buckley now. Will he make a move on Dominic? He looks possibly a little bit too far back. He's not putting it into overtake, so he's not looking to make the move at this point. But we'll flick back to Danny.
What a surprise. Urban makes contact with Buckley. Here we go. Round number 4 for these two.
No.
They've had a lot of collisions in the past.
Buckley seems to be lagging a little bit on my screen, so I'm not sure if he's having connection issues at the end of this Grand Prix.
I think Mercury, personally, I think that Buckley and Urban have a
Danny's made his move.
rivalry that doesn't actually really compare to...
They are battling through centre S's. As Bullseye's going to come back at DJ Danny will come back to your point in just 2 seconds as Bullseye on his return is looking to get 2 points in this Grand Prix.
He's aiming to
outbreaks him on the outside and he's made the move. Good move from him, but Danny is right up his diffuser again, but he's not going to be able to make a move. But he's going to follow him and try and make a move possibly on the next lap.
No wonder the Mercedes signed him to replace me. Anyway, I was going to say that it looks like, because of all the things that have happened previously, is that Urban's lost a lot of time actually to Buckley. I think Urban and Buckley have, I think, the strongest rivalry on the grid, personally.
That's a big claim.
They always are, when they're together on track, there's always that thing. There's always that, you know, that tension. I feel, anyway. As a spectator, when they're always on track. So, yeah.
Well, it's very much a different. It's a different kind of rivalry, but yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying. See Bullseye and Danny fighting again.
Look at this.
So they're having a massive scrap for this. These 2 final points paying positions as Danny's going to fight back into turn 4. He gets the slipstream DRS. Bullseye's looking to break it a little bit, and he leaves the inside line open.
Sorry,
Oh, they've made contact! Oh, they both get away with it, yeah. And Danny's going to look to make the move. Oh, that was very close, but yeah. Bullseye keeps the move.
I was going to say about the jam handful of this battling, but there's not much of
Well, Buckley's made the move
battle.
on Dominic up the inside of turn 1. So 4 laps to go. He's made his move. Can he hold it now through the centre?
Dominic is champion.
Well, he's going to fight back.
He hasn't actually shown that much pace in this race. He's only P40.
Yeah, well, he's sitting behind Buckley for now. It's very hard to catch drivers without the slipstream. Would be the 1 point I would make.
Oh, okay.
So it is difficult. But yeah, I think we expected a little bit more from both Buckley and Dominic towards the end of the session. I think Urban's tyres are starting to go off, Maudi.
He's 2.1 seconds down.
Battling.
I mean, I think P6 is a good comeback for him compared to where he was in Abu Dhabi.
Bullseye doesn't defend it again, so Dan's going to have a move up the inside. They're going to go side by side down at turn 4. Bullseye holding the move on the outside again. Danny just not braking late enough to get the move done. But yep, Bullseye keeps the position. We watch Dominic now is going to take the position back from Buckley into turn 1. These two have been swapping positions all race. So he's now made his move, but he's gone deep.
Buckley's going to try and go back at him.
Buckley the chance. Yeah, he's got a great switchback, and he's going to have the slipstream and DRS now. Is Dominic going to hold the inside line? Can Buckley make it work around the outside?
Dominic's compromised on the curve.
He's got a nose ahead, and he's got the move done. So Buckley back up into P4. He does not want to lose this position to Dominic on his final race in F1 2019. We see Danny again going for the move.
I reckon Mercury, Bullseye.
Oh, they made contact!
I reckon Bullseye had more airtime than me because he's alongside Danny now down in the turn number 1. side by side. He's going to go for that cutback move. He's going to show why he was champion all those seasons ago. Here we go then. He's going to take a tight line through. He covered a lot, go down the retro Costa now. Here we go down the straight. Then he's going to go defensive. Car's going to be in hot pursuit of spectate mode. In ninth place now is Bullseye. Overtake done. There you go.
Jamham's into the pits, Smaldy. Jamham is into the pits, and he's got a 5-second penalty. What has happened here at Haas? He's into the pits for a set of softs, Smaldy. No front wing change. That is an interesting strategy call from the Haas team. He was up in a comfortable P3. And now this is a battle for the podium between Sink Buckley and VLD Dominic.
He's going to get another podium here. Here we go.
Well, that's what he's going to want to do on his send-off.
A great motivator for the game, end of the game here for Buckley.
I have no idea why Jam.
Yeah, what is going on with Haas? Gene Haas.
3 laps to go.
What is Gene Haas on? He's been eating some good cakes.
Danny Bullseye again into turn 1.
Oh, side by side, here we go. Forget about what I just said earlier. Buckley got a good rivalry. It looks like a new rivalry screwing up for season 17 here. Danny versus Bullseye down the straight. DRS now for the Red Bull. Round the outside now. Bullseye's going to push him wide a little bit there, but Danny all the way around the outside.
How's it around the outside?
Around the outside, what a move.
There.
It's a shame he couldn't have done that turn 1 Bahrain to win the race, but that's Matty for the P9 now here in Brazil.
Dominic now looking to fight back on Sink Buckley for the podium. He goes down the inside. Late braking move on the Toro Rosso. But Buckley has the outside line for the inside for turn 2. Now Dominic's going to have a great run through turn 3. Can he get the braking zone into turn 4? Nailed. He's going to have the inside line. Buckley
is going to
try and hold it around the outside. They've both got good straight line speed.
Buckley's low on ERS as well.
Buckley's
low on ERS.
Oh, that's a squeeze. Yeah, Buckley has kept the position though with a lap and a half to go. So the podium battle is heating up here in Brazil. Who do you think's going to get this podium then, Marty? Stand on the final step.
I'm going to go for Buckley.
It'll be great to see him back on the podium again. As we see, Kyle is now getting involved in this battle. 4 points per position.
Hamilton, the gap. We've been like, you know, not watching it much, but 6.4 seconds now. Wow.
Greenwell's just come across the line now to start his final lap. But we're more interested in this battle behind.
STB season 16 is coming to a close, but it's going to be a great final lap here. It's full.
Weaving from Buckley.
Bullseye's going to break down. No, sorry.
He's got the slipstream, Maddie. He's got the slipstream. He's going to go into turn 1. Dominic up the inside yet again of Sink Buckley.
Dominic, they break him, but he's Buckley. Buckley's going to have. No, Buckley's not going to have DRS.
This is going to be his last big. This is his last big opportunity in this
race
to get the podium position.
Here we go, overtake mode, everything for the Toro Rosso. Here we go, then DRS.
He's going to go the inside.
On the inside of the corner. Here we go on the curve, and the Toro.
Dominic's going to fight back. Oh, they make contact.
There's been a crash. There's been a massive crash on Urban Unicorn.
Urban Unicorn takes the final podium position. What has happened there? The Red Bull and the sister team. And Buckley with a 10-second penalty. His race is unfolded. But one person who has not faltered in this race, BRL Bruno Will. It's been a stunning drive for him. His home fans rise to acclaim him on his home Grand Prix, and he ends out the season crossing the line, and he takes the Brazilian Grand Prix victory.
People would say Bruno Will wins the Brazilian Grand Prix here at Interlagos. Second, another great race.
It's Jamham, and yeah, Dominic's lost a big chunk of front wing. So Hamjam again with another podium, and his rival in the championship is behind him. So he takes P4 in the STB championship. Libero just missing out on the podium in the end. And Jamham will come home P5 on the road. Buckley is now right behind Dominic again as we see Jewel going up to the line. Is he going to get double overtake? Oh, contact again. Yeah. Oh my god, massive crash. And Dominic is out, but he has crossed the line. His side was across the line.
There was a lot of tension there in that final sector. There's a lot of tension in that final sector there. Dominic's not happy with Buckley.
As we see who's going to take the final points position, it's going to be Danny and Bullseye on the road.
Wow,
and what an end to that race, and what an end to the season.
Definitely going to be a call up to the stewards there, Mercury, for the collision between Buckley and Dominic. I think they were just too hungry for that podium. They both just went in a bit too.
It's very similar to the battle we saw last time out. DJ Danny and PFL Domi making contact on the last lap in pretty much the final big overtaking opportunity of the lap. So yeah, the stewards will have to look into that one. It's ruined both of their races, and it is promoted Urban Unicorn onto an unlikely podium, I would say, throughout that race. But here are your results from Brazil, Maudi, if you want to run through it.
First is BR Bruno Will. They say in Brazil, maravilhoso, which means wonderful. That is a wonderful race there from Bruno Will. P1, and he ends the season in complete and utter style. Second is Ham Jam. Third is Urban Unicorn. Fourth, Chaos Libro. Fifth, Jam Ham. Sixth, Dominic after his collision on the final lap with Buckley. Seventh is Joel. Eighth, Buckley. Ninth, Danny. 10th is Carl. 11th on his return is Bulls. I hope for a better race in Australia. And your DNFs were Fusion, Matty, Churkat, Smasher, Miles, Gravity, and Echo. Let's not forget lap 1. That was an absolute cracker.
Well, there was a lot of retirements in that race. I think we haven't seen that big of a retirement list all season. So, yeah, it was an event-filled race, lacking a bit of battles, I would say.
Well, the last lap weren't lacking.
Well, yeah, there was an incident strewn across the race. There was a big battle, obviously, for that final points position. But apart from that, it wasn't the best race of the season, I would say. But that is it for season 16.
Right, we're going to get the podium finishers. I believe Urban Unicorn has now got a mic, so we'll be able to do the interview here this evening. STB Chris, that should be nice. And Ham Jam, of course, another podium. Our old teammate Mercury, so it's a great time for us Mercedes drivers this season. Mercedes have literally been the HRT of 2010. Let's not forget that. In swapping drivers.
Speak for yourself. Ham Jam had great pace throughout the season, so
yeah. Well, I mean,
drivers should leave him out of that.
Well, there you go. Then we're going to go to Ham Jam, as I think Urban Unicorn is having a bit of trouble accepting the invite. But Ham Jam, we're here in Brazil, the end of season 16. Take us through your race. You seem to be behind Bruno Will. Some good pace in the early stages, but it looks like he definitely showed his true pace in the second stint.
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, I'd say pretty much flawless race, P2 to P2, not even a warning, and albeit I finished about 8 seconds off Bruno Will in the end, I don't think that was sort of accurate as to how I drove. Unfortunately, James's AI decided to take him into the pits with 3 laps to go, and so I kind of lost my concentration, lost a bit of time there at the end, but held on for the P2 pretty comfortably in the end, and P4 in the championship as well, so really no complaints at all from my end.
Yes, we was talking about your rivalry with Urban Unicorn this season, how he was 1 point ahead of you. How is this confidence going to be brought into the new season? Of course, Australia, I believe, maybe in a month's time. How are you going to transfer this pace and this confidence, potentially battle for the championship as we go to season 17?
Yeah, well, what's that? 5 podiums in the last 6 races. So I guess just carry on with the results. I mean, I'm on a new wheel and I've not been on it for too long. So it's obviously promising that I'm able to sort of fight for the podium since moving to this new wheel. So I guess if I can just keep finding a bit of time here and there, then yeah, maybe I'll be fighting up there next season.
Okay. Thank you, Hamjam. I don't think Urban Unicorn is going to be joining us now, Corey. I think he's a bit too scared. He hasn't spoke to us before, so he might sort of, stay his fright. But we're going to go to Sync Buckley. Yeah, we're going to go to Sync Buckley because he had a pretty dismal final lap there. Buckley, what happened with you and Dominic at the 4th corner?
I want to talk about it. No
comment. Okay.
Yeah, no. Went into turn 4, I think. Down the inside, and then I lost it on the curb, and then in the process I took out Dominic, and that wasn't one of my brightest moments.
Would you say he squeezed you at all?
I just completely lost it on the curb. That's 100% my fault. No,
Okay, well clear.
it's not one of my proudest moments of the season. I'll just say that.
Well, you've still had some good proud moments of the season, luckily, because you obviously got a podium in Abu Dhabi. You've shown your face on the global stages, a bit like Ham Jam. So we look forward to seeing you in Melbourne next season. So Mercury, that is the end of season 16. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up for this season?
Well, it's been a fascinating season. Obviously, Dominic, you're two-time world champion, back to back. A few drivers struggled. Maybe were unexpected. A few drivers definitely shone out above all. Obviously, we got Kev Libero, Ham Jam, the main upcoming drivers, I'd say, for the next season. So I think season 17 is definitely one to keep an eye on, with a lot of new upcoming drivers, and obviously new drivers for the new game. So it is all to play for the championship.
Definitely. Also, 2 new tracks as well, Mercury, for next season. We've got the infamous Zandvoort, which Joel could be looking forward to race next season, is home Grand Prix. A track we're not really looking forward to for racing, personally, because there's not many overtaking spots in my opinion, but it will be a good race to drive on. It's very fast flowing from what I've seen. And of course, the new Hanoi circuit in Vietnam, which personally I've got to say is my new favourite track, ahead of Abu Dhabi. I'm just going to put that out there. So I'm very looking forward to those long straights, a race, overtake mode, everything. Thank you for joining us this season for season 16. Thank you to Rixie this season. He's done an incredible job doing the commentary. Thank you to Mercury for stepping in for me when I wanted to put myself in the deep end and race in Japan and America and come last every race. But I've definitely enjoyed being back this evening. Do join us though, season 17, the Australian Grand Prix, where we all start it over again, and hopefully it will be another great season. We'll see you in Melbourne.